In Matthew 18:21-35, Peter asks Jesus, "Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times." Jesus answers, "I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times." To illustrate, Jesus tells the parable of a king who wished to settle accounts with his servants. One servant owed an enormous debt, 10,000 talents, an impossible sum to repay. When the king ordered him to be sold along with his family to cover the debt, the servant fell on his knees, begging, "Be patient with me, and I will pay back everything." Moved with compassion, the king forgave his entire debt. However, that same servant went out and found a fellow servant who owed him a much smaller debt, just 100 silver coins. Grabbing him by the throat, he demanded repayment. Despite his fellow servant's pleas for patience, he refused and had him thrown into prison. When the king heard of this, he was furious. He summoned the servant and declared, "You wicked servant, I forgave you all that debt because you begged me. Shouldn't you have had mercy on your fellow servant just as I had on you?" In anger, the king handed him over to be punished until he paid all he owed. Jesus concludes, "This is how my heavenly Father will treat each of you unless you forgive your brother or sister from your heart." This parable reminds us that God's mercy toward us is immeasurable, and in return, He calls us to extend the same grace to others. True forgiveness is not about keeping score, it's about letting go, just as God has done for us.